Right, time for an update video on the Bentgrass green and the ryegrass apron. So today, gonna give it a cut, show you guys how it's looking pretty good. Seriously, it's improved since the last couple of videos. Tell you what, that nitrogen's really helped out. We've had a little bit of warmer temps too, as you can see. Like, we're not getting much wind. Frost is still around, which is a pain in the bum. But we're getting decent temps. And I've been forgetting to put the heat mat on recently, so probably should start doing that again. But anyway, let's get in with this. Let's get the landscape laid out, use it on the lawn, do some edging, do some mowing, and then see what happens. Yo mate, what up? Welcome to another lawn tip vid. So that is all done, all the edging and stuff done first. Man, I'm actually really loving it. Especially that you can blow your clippings back onto the lawn and then mow them up afterwards. It's just smart, you know? Should have done it earlier. Anyway. But yeah, so we're gonna get the rover out now, not the swarming today, and just cut the rye at that, what height do I have it at? I think it's at 10 mil. So cut this at 10 mil. We use the swarming in future, but just going to use the trusty old rover today on the rye here, and then we'll cut the green as well. Then I'll show you guys exactly how the green's looking and where it looks like we're going to go, and what I'm planning to do in the next couple of weeks as well with it, just to try to really get it to fill in before spring, before I spray out the bent and the rye. But I'm stoked with this rye. The bent's just still got a bit of work to do, but it's getting there. But let's mow. I need to get that throttle cable looked at. It wasn't turned off just then. So it came up pretty clean. We got a bit off. I haven't mowed it like the rye. I've been mowing the green every day, but I haven't mowed the rye in about 2 weeks. Not that long really. Feels like ages though. But there's a lot of grass there. A lot of grass. Flip. That's quite a bit. Actually, I did mow the tee with the swarming last week, so it's really only grass off this section. So I'm impressed with that. Still getting some good growth. I'm going to give it a hit with some Phosphyter and liquid iron layer today. I'm probably not going to film that though. Just to give it a nice green up, give it some health back with that Phosphyter as well. I've really found that Phosphyter this year to help with frost quite a bit, and it's just its tolerance to the cooler weather a bit as well. I've noticed since I haven't done it for about 3 to 4 weeks, maybe about 4 weeks now, this lawn's starting to go a little bit browny in some spots. The ryegrass, this area's alright. But the rye seems to be going a little bit more browny, so I'm going to put that mix out and see how it responds to it, and I'll show you guys what it looks like later. But anyway, we'll cut the green in a minute. Actually, let's just cut it now. Right, so that mow is all done. Still got quite a bit off, even though I didn't even cut it 24 hours ago. Let's take these out, sorry. So let's see how many handfuls of grass we get out of there, but it doesn't look like much. But for cutting not that long ago, we'll find out. So I'll just go empty it in the bin. We'll see how much we get. Such a technical way of measuring it out, I know. So, 1 hen, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so 6. So I'm still getting grass off it, and I didn't even mow it 24 hours ago. Now that is pretty good for this time of year. Oh! Very impressed with that. But yeah, I still am not 100% happy with the green. To be honest, as I've said before, I should have started earlier. Should have used some seed that wasn't like 8 years old from the golf course. And I should have been a little bit smarter about it. But it's a good trial. There's always next season when we can try it out and do a little bit more effort on it. But I'm planning into the next couple of weeks is I'm going to start doing some light top dressing with it, since it is growing quite a bit, just to let the runners of the bent to actually grow into something. Just some soft soil. Something we used to do on the golf course all the time is we just top dress a lot of the bare areas so the bent had somewhere to creep into and repair. I've got to keep up the regular applications of nitrogen to do this though. Luckily I've seen no disease with doing this. Now I have been spoon feeding, so I've cut it back to instead of 250 grams per 100 square meters, I've gone about 100 grams per 100 square meters, so I'm going about 60 grams of nitrogen for this area here, or thereabouts. That's a guesstimate. As you guys saw in a video a couple of weeks ago, I just dissolve it down the knapsack and put it out like that. Easiest way to go. But yeah, top dressing, because I really want these areas up the back to start to fill in. I'm going to stop turning around with the mower in those areas as well. Someone made a comment a couple of weeks ago that I'm turning around up there, and silly old me was like, no, I'm not turning around up there. When I'm going onto the ryegrass up the ends, but no, when I go around the corner, I'm turning on that area. So I think I'm going to stop doing that just to relieve a little bit of stress on those spots as well, because both those ends don't have much grass in them. They're starting to get some now, but let's just keep off them for a while. And now there's a lot of areas where the worm castings were as well that are bare dirt, but I am starting to see some grass creep into those areas as well, more and more every day. So things are looking promising. And you can also see up the back of the green there's a couple of footprints. I sprayed some herbicide up the back there just to kill off all the dirty ryegrass that was there that went over from the seed, and the neighbours obviously put something out to their bins, stepped on the chemical I put out, and then walked onto the ryegrass, which is a bummer because I thought they weren't home, so I would have dried before they got home, but they must have been home. Anyway, it doesn't matter, it's fine. There's actually some roots still down in there, so I reckon the ryegrass might come back up. But yeah, that's how the green's going. That's how it's looking. I'd love for it to be better, but it's the way it is. But I'll update you guys once a week, once every 2 weeks on the green. I'm not going to do it all the time, just so you can really see the difference and the progression over the coming weeks. Right, so that's about the end of the video. That's what I wanted to show you guys today. Green is progressing. I'm excited about it. The rye is rye. Always looks good. Pretty easy to get rye looking good if you put enough seed out and you put it down at the right time, because it germinates flipping quick. I mean, I went to the golf course the other day. My brother is the superintendent, and they put ryegrass out with frost about, and it still came up. Crazy stuff, man. I mean, it's not going to be as good, but it still comes up. But it's crazy stuff. But anyway, I'm going to go apply some fertilizer to the other yard now and put some on this yard as well, which I'm not going to film. You guys have seen me do that plenty of times, so I'm just going to go do that. So thanks guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And you have a good week.